Welcome to Speed Racing Network, home of the KSP Performance Series. Your main broadcaster tonight, Jonathan Byer, President of Speed Racing Network, here with you for our late model stock action here at South Boston Speedway. Have a great event in store for you this evening. These late model stocks always produce good action on the service, and we can't wait to see the on-track action here in a little bit. Drivers are getting their qualifying laps in right now, so we'll let them do that, and then we'll check the grid. But before then, in case you did miss it, as it says in the comments, we had a fantastic cap to the season for the Speed Racing Network Glitch Truck Series. Make sure you go watch that championship event. It had all kinds of twists and turns, and it turned out to be a really, really cool finish, and Ben Morrow ended up taking home the title in that one, as well as winning the race. So that has concluded the Glitch Truck Series for the season. We have this race and one more here for the KSP Performance Series. After that, we take our summer break, and we're back in the fall for Speed Racing Network Season 7. So we're looking forward to that. Have some cool announcements coming your way shortly regarding that. May give away a few teasers tonight. We'll see. So, like I said, we're here at South Boston Speedway tonight. It's a 0.4 mile track with 12 degrees of bankings in the turns, 10 degrees of banking on the straightaways. Was the home of NASCAR Winston Cup Series racing from 1960 to 1971. Presently serves as a Cars Tour track, which is similar to what these cars are we're racing here tonight. Other series that have raced here at South Boston, the Busch Series, which is now the Xfinity Series, the Craftsman Truck Series, the ARCA Series, the Whelen Modified Tour, and the K&N Pro East Series. The SRX Series did make one stop here to South Boston in 2022. But it opened in August of 1957, which currently makes it 66 years old, but still standing strong. For people that don't know this, it is owned by the same group that owns Pocono Raceway in Pennsylvania. So, a little cool fun fact there. But it's going to produce some great close racing action tonight. Historic racetrack in the NASCAR world. But race is really, really good here on the service. Like I said, 100 laps tonight. We have no stage break, no competition yellows, nothing like that happening. So it'll just be straight up action for 100 laps. The last 3 races we've had here in the KSP Performance Series have gone caution free, albeit smaller fields. And so you can kind of expect that to maybe be the theme that carries into this evening. So with that, the drivers look like they're wrapping up their qualifying lap. It looks like just one more driver that needs to take time. That'd be Connor Cunningham, who we saw in last night's event. Once he takes his time, we'll go ahead and move this thing forward and take a look at the starting grid. But before we do that, we'll give a chance for you guys to hear a little bit more about our title sponsor here in the KSP Performance. back here with you from South Boston Speedway. Like we said, Connor Cunningham is now wrapping up the last of his qualifying laps. Once he does that, we'll flip that over and look at our starting grid. We're going to have 7 cars here strong this evening. Here we go. So here's your grid here tonight. This is how they will start. James Kerr won the pole. He's a race winner here already this season. Spencer Brown will start second. Sean Corcoran will start third. Dalton McKinney fourth. Drake Carty fifth. Connor Cunningham sixth. Dylan Godinez in seventh. So a strong field here. Good mix of drivers that have been in contention and drivers that have already won events this year. Dalton McKinney, a winner in the KSP Performance Series already this year. James Kerr, like I said earlier, winner already this year. So they're looking to cash in. Those two are also very, very high on the points list, which the championship isn't as big of the championship as we usually host in our other series, but they still do get a championship trophy for winning such. And so the drivers are obviously looking at adding that to their trophy cases. But either way, we're about to get going here and get this thing underway. Connor Cunningham is still on the pits, it looks like, but everybody else is there out on the grid. And so we will get started rolling here. They'll go through 2 pace laps and we'll get it started. So it does look like that 37 car is starting from the pit lane. So we'll see if we can get an update, maybe development on that here in a moment. We'll officially have 6 cars taking the green on track this evening. Like I said, they'll take 1 more pace lap around here. The fields will then be in the hand of James Kerr in the 75. And we will get the 100 laps of racing action started shortly after. Thank you for joining us tonight. If this is your first time here at Speed Racing Network, make sure you like and subscribe to the stream. It helps us out. It helps us reach new race fans and grow our leagues and audience. The field is in the hands of James Kerr, and the green flag is out at South Boston. James Kerr jumps out to an early lead here over Spencer Brown. Fight here is for third between Sean Corcoran and Drake Carty. Corcoran's going to prevail here early. Now Carty is under fire from Dalton McKinney, one of our Championship 5 from last night we saw. Unfortunately, we came up a little bit short in his effort, but still a fantastic season from the driver, that number 46. And Godinez is back here hailing up the field is DG Motorsports number 88. Connor Cunningham did make it off the pit lane. Unfortunately, he's going to fall a lap down likely pretty early in this event, but maybe that's just his strategy of attack where he missed the grid. Again, we'll follow up with that update and as we can to see what happened there. But James Kerr does lead up front comfortably early. And like I did say earlier, we did have the last 3 of these events here in the KSP Performance Series go caution-free. And with that, it opens up not your normal strategy of attrition that you usually use here on the iRacing service for these style cars. And so tire management becomes a lot more important. And so I think we're going to see that kind of play into the balance this evening more than we typically would if this race takes the same form that the other ones have previously. Oh, we'll see how it shapes out, but that's my early thought on what might happen here this evening. These guys all do have one extra set of tires in the pits if they do choose to. It's completely up to them. But you obviously would not want to come down during green flag action to do so because you'd give up multiple laps. And yes, there's an advantage to fresh tires, but getting multiple laps back on the field, not one of those advantages. Kind of tight battle here for second. Spencer Brown, Sean Corcoran going at it right here. Teammates here, DG Motorsports Machine. This is the tightest battle on the track. Connor Cunningham, if you're keeping tabs on him, from starting in the pits, is only about a half track behind the leader currently. As Sean Corcoran takes over that second spot, looks like Spencer Brown was just going to let him go there. 12 laps into a 100 lap event, not really going to fight it. The field now spaced out pretty evenly. You do have a gap here behind the 59. Great Cardi before you get back to Dalton McKinney. But not too spread out yet. And this looks a lot like how we've seen these races take shape thus far this season. Very, very similar. You know, everybody gets spaced out by a car length or two. You log a few laps, and then you start to get these larger gaps in the field, and then the last half is just who did the best job of conserving the tires early and just running good, consistent lap times over the course of the event. But the battle is heating up here up front. James Kerr's feeling some heat from Sean Corcoran in that 74. Sean Corcoran's been running some of the fastest laps on the racetrack the last 3 or 4 laps. A little faster than James, a tenth and almost 2/10 there a couple laps ago. Now that he's gotten to his bumper, that delta is going to calm down a little bit, as you see. Goes to 9 thousandths, so running about the same lap time there. But I mean, as soon as you pull up to his bumper, you really can't gain too much time before running him over. So Corcoran's just going to be patient right here, maybe see if James will make a mistake. Again, 19 laps in a 100 lap event, plenty of time to go. No reason to really push it this early. And if we do look back, last time that these cars were on the KSP Performance schedule, that was the race that James Kerr came home with the victory. So obviously very comfortable with these late model stocks, does prefer them in conversation with them, does love the way they drive. And he's obviously putting that on display. Keeping Sean Corcoran right there behind him as we ride on board with Sean. Kind of being patient right there. No reason to use the bumper this early. Staying with him, maybe pressuring him into trying to make a mistake. Now he looks like he's got a fender just underneath him. A good run off the corner from James. The only battle currently on the racetrack, everybody else has stayed in their position. So now going to be side by side for the lead here on 25. No, James does edge out on top. I think it's going to be hard for the 74 to get by the 75 running that top lane, but you do worry about what that top lane does to the tires on that number 75 machine. 74 might be able to clear up right here, and he is. 74, Sean Corcoran, your new leader. So James Kerr led the first 25 laps of the event. Sean Corcoran now takes over the lead. And we'll see how far he pulls out. We're already off to a pretty good distance here in just a couple laps. We look at the lap time history. You'll see 3/10 in just one lap right there. Coming to the line, we'll see what it is here, but it looks like it's going to be quite a bit more. Another 3, almost 4/10. So John Corcoran now up front and legging it out. Almost a second gap already between the two. So Kerr slides into second place. Spencer Brown still back here in third. About a second and 3/4 off the leader. Slightly closing on James, but no big gains yet. Great Carty still in fourth. Dalton McKinney back here in fifth. Jalen Godinez in sixth. And then Connor Cunningham, the one that started in the pits, in seventh. However, kudos to him. Even though he started in the pits, he's still, a pretty decent distance, probably about 4 seconds in front of the leader. So I think he's just hoping that a caution comes out and helps reset his race to get back in it. Back up front, John Corcoran, running some pretty impressive lap times. We're running 15.1s to 15.2s. Everybody else is 15.3s, 4s, and 5s. So that's a good sign of things. Still the fastest car on the racetrack, has been that way for about the last 12 laps, as he's now led 9 after James led the first 25. 35 laps into this race, almost. No incident points recorded in the entire field, so everybody stayed out of each other, stayed out of the wall, kept the car pointed the right direction. And that just kind of goes to show the kind of racing we've had in this series this season. Without cautions in the last 3 events, this one kind of feeling the same way. We haven't had an incident point free event, which that would kind of just be a crazy thing to think about. Possible. But you never know. Tonight could be the night. We'll see. No incident points for the whole field yet. Work our way through the field. John Corcoran still here out front, the number 74 machine. James Kerr in second, the number 75 machine. The Landon Huffman paint scheme on that. We have 2 of those out here tonight. This is one of the ones. Spencer Brown in the 17 machine in third. Having a good run tonight. Great Carty in the number 59 machine in fourth. Dalton McKinney in the number 46. That level Midnight Motorsports machine. Gave them a great run in the Glitch Truck Series this year. Is in fifth. Dylan Godinez, the chief over there at DG Motorsports, has that number 88 in 6th. And then the second of those Landon Huffman lookalike cars, we have Connor Cunningham back here in 7th in the number 37, making his appearance in the KSP Performance Series tonight. After a disappointing end to his season last night in the Glitch Truck Series, but it's just one of those things where sometimes you find yourself in the wrong place, in the wrong time on the racetrack. And that's what happened to Connor. But still had a great season, was able to make the playoffs. Started as a part-time effort in the series. Ended up making enough races and doing well enough to make the playoffs. So, impressive there after missing a couple races just to accomplish that. Nothing's changed here up front, or at least the last 19 laps. Corcoran's still in control. That lead's grown to about 2 seconds and stayed about there. Not huge differences between the lap times of the 74 and 75. It was just a few laps there while James got past, and just a lot of time got given up quickly. And that has kind of kept the distance between those two. Spencer Brown has fallen off. We talked about him just being 2 seconds away. Now 5.5 seconds back of the lead. So his lap times have kind of gone way in arrears. Great Carty has not fallen off as much, but is almost 7 seconds back. Kinney is about 7.5 seconds back. Closing in on the 59 slowly. We might have a battle there. Dylan Godina is about 11.5 seconds back. And then Connor Cunningham, who you now see it in his mirror, the leader, lurking in the background. So that could be what changes this event. It's got the green feeling, no incident points, everybody's got a handle on the racecraft. Lap traffic could be what makes the difference. So, I mean, obviously, these guys know racing etiquette. Probably not going to put up a huge fight. But if I'm the 74, I probably want to get by this guy as quick as possible. Because you just don't want to give James a chance to make up that gap. Oh, and almost contact there between the 74 and 37. Connor's not necessarily going to let him have it. Not racing him close, but not just laying over for the 74 either. The 37 does have some good pace, so he doesn't really have to just let him pass. And still not clear, so not really hindering the lap time too much of the 74 currently from what we're seeing, but that can't help, and it's definitely not going to help him grow the lead. He was a tenth slower than the 75 last time by, but looks like he's going to get by the 37 right there. Maybe not. He'll definitely have it here, though. So maybe gave up 2/10 there, but the lead's still around 3 seconds. Not a big difference. Now the key will be for James to be able to get around the 37 as efficiently as possible as well. We'll see how that unfolds. We still do use the lucky dog rule here, like we do in our other series, so if a caution does come out, Connor Cunningham will be the beneficiary of that and get his lap back. Sean Corcoran likes what he's seeing up front, and I don't blame him. Clean air, clean track, everybody's keeping it together. He will have to deal with the 88 car here shortly, probably in another 2 to 3 laps. You see him right there. But the 88, I know, really good on racecraft. He's not going to really put up too much of a fight. The 88's goal is to stay in front of that 37 in case we get a caution. And you see it right there. The 88 just says, you know what, here you go. And, you know, it also helps they're on the same team. So maybe boss gets on the radio and says, hey, I'll pull over for you. Go have it. Nope, when we have a caution. The 88 car we just saw get lapped brings out the caution. He might have been in that lucky dog position. And if that is the case and he's got the caution, he won't get the lucky dog. So this could be a development. I do believe that everybody here is going to come get those tires, however. And we'll take a look here to see what happened to the 88. He's already been passed at this point. Oh, and just gets loose. I was thinking the 37 might have been involved there, but looks like the 88 just gets a little loose there, loops it around. So it does put him a lap down. Connor Cunningham we see now back on the lead lap. And I believe Cunningham's going to get back on the lead lap because he's going to get the wave around here, I do believe, because not everybody's pitted. I'll tell you who has. Oh, now they're cycling back through. So originally the first time down the pits, the 74, 75, and 88 came down. And then this time by, we have the 59 and the 17. I don't know if those guys weren't aware that the pit road was open at the time. But the 74 and 75 already, they came down and got their service right away. They were the only two, actually, that came down and got that service. So, heads up play by them. They're going to maintain the top 2 spots. But Dalton McKinney has not made a pit stop. So, he's going to be out front here on the restart on very old tires, and he's going to probably try to do all he can to hold it together. We'll find out in a second. But yes, everybody else did come down and grab those 4 tires they had laying in the pits. So the 74, 75, 17, 59, 37, 88 will be on fresh tires. The 88 looks like he has fallen 2 down. So we'll need a couple cautions, unfortunately, to get back in it here. But hey, now that we have them bunched up, cautions breed cautions. We'll see what happens. Kind of a rare sight here to be under yellow here in the Speed Racing Network KSP Performance Series. As we went 3 races without seeing one of those yellow flags, but here we are. We got one tonight. So the field is in the hands of Connor Cunningham, the one driver that did not come down the pit lane. We'll see how this develops here as they're getting ready to restart. And the green flag is back out. Big jump by the 46. Battling back here, we're looking for 3rd place. I believe the 17 shows that he pitted, but did end up jumping these guys, so not sure if he didn't take all the service, maybe just a couple tires, we'll see. Ames does get the edge over Sean. That might be key here in a few minutes. But on the older tires, Dalton McKinney has held the lead to this point. Obviously here in a few laps we'll see how that develops. Now, was he playing it smart, sitting back there not really using the tires? Now, let's say with the speed he was running, he had to be using something. So I don't think he was just laying up in the back. But on these cars, if you do drive them soft, you can accomplish just that. And so we'll see. But Drake Hardy is quickly hunting him down. And you see the whole field now bunching up behind him. Ooh, James Kerr goes around in the back. No caution. We stay green. He got hit hard by the 74, but it kind of straightened him back out. Wow. The 17 and 75 got together, and the 74 just nowhere to go. Meanwhile, for the lead, we got a battle. Here comes the 59. And on those newer tires, he's just going to make quick work. So Dalton McKinney got the lead 10 laps, but now the field is being paced by the number 59 of Drake Hardy. And Spencer Brown now quickly coming up on 46 as well. Sean back here in 4th. He was the car we saw with the best long run pace. 28 laps to go. He might still be able to get there. Not sure how that front end damage is going to affect him. You see there's quite a bit of it there. We'll see if that makes a difference on that car. You kind of worry about overheating too. Oh, we have a caution. The 46 is around. I believe him and the 17 got together.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize it was a field.
We will have to go back and take a look at that. And the driver's talking it over here, as you can hear in the background. Ooh, he just got the end of it, but that, we'll take another look at that here. See if we can see if there's something that's happened right before. No, it just looks like the 46. I don't know if he just got in a little lighter than what the 17 was expecting. We'll look at it from this point of view as well to see if we can kind of figure out what 17 saw here, Spencer Brown. Oh. No, just drove it in and got in the rear, and it doesn't take much in these cars to do the rest. And so we'll see what happens there. I believe the 46 now would come and get those tires. You might as well, being at the back of the field. Was able to stay on the lead lap though, so he's not going to miss a lap or get a lap down. Dylan Godinez was able to get one back under this caution, so he will now be the one lap down. So one more caution, he's right back in it. Drake Carty's still out front here. He's now led 6 laps. They're going to get the 1 to go signal this time by Sean Corcoran did come down pit road. One thing we did not mention as well, these guys get 1 fast repair. And he came and fixed that nose damage. So he gave up 1 spot on the racetrack, but I think that's probably the right call. I don't know how that nose damage would affect him long term, but it probably would have started overheating that machine. So good call there. James does stay out with that rear end damage. The fields are in the hand of Drake Carty here as we get ready to go. We'll restart here with 22 laps left here at South Boston. Jumbling here to restart. 75, James Kerr gets clear for second. He's going to go probably after the lead here in a second. We're going to watch Sean Corcoran try to work his way back up here. And this looks like it's going to sort it out for a second. Ooh, the 46 gets into the 37. Looks like they're going to be okay. We'll see. Heating up front. James Kerr, stalking the lead. If I'm James right here, I need to get by this 59 as quick as possible because I know that 74 is coming back. And I need to try to build some lead, get some clean air, whatever I can do. But the 59's been fast, so this isn't necessarily going to be an easy feat. And you look behind him, 74 is already cleared as third. He's going to be there pretty quickly. So James needs to decide here if he's going to make quick work. He's going to try to get the 59 as a pick. What his plan is here, he's got to already be thinking it out. James is really fighting that wheel off the corner. Everybody filed out single file, about a car length apart except for these first 2. James right on the bumper of that 59. Get a little higher, entry, cut it off. Now the 74 joins this battle tight as well. We have a 3-way fight here for the lead. Ooh, the 74 gets in the back of the 75. Not the first time we said that. It's going to bottle everybody up behind him here. Everything kind of punches back out now after that. And we'll reset the battle up front. 59 is doing all he can to keep it. Oh, James gets into his corner. Oh, gets into him again. That's going to cost James a spot to the 74. Likely. James is loose. Back to third for the 75. Wow. So now the battle is between the 59 and 74. 74 is back on the hunt. If he can make work to that 59. And we are all bunched up front. Oh, James Kerr goes around. Off the bumper of the 70. No, off the bumper of the 17 it was. So the second vehicle that falls victim. A little damage there on the left front. That was the one we saw earlier, where those guys got together, and this is the last one. Kind of similar thing from the 17 there. Gets in the corner. Just a little hot. This is the earlier incident that caused the damage to the front end of the 74. That was pretty big. You'll see the 75 gets into the 17 there a little bit. Great save by the 17 to keep it pointed straight, but it checks up with the 75, and yeah, wow. But how about James not spinning that thing out? Kept us green at that point. But yeah, you see the damage on the front of the 74. He had to come get that fixed. And then this is the most recent incident. We'll slow down for you. James right following the tire tracks of the 74. Little gap. You see the 17 just gets in there deeper. And just like what we saw with the 46 and him, roughly the same. That's where the front end damage comes from, is that little clip on the way by. James keeps it out of the outside wall, so prevents any more rear end damage. He does have that fast repair. Have to think he is going to take that, but it doesn't look like he is. He's still out there with that damaged race car. May have accidentally taken it when he came to get those tires earlier. One finicky thing on the iRacing platform is if you don't uncheck that fast repair, even though if you don't have damage, it'll take it if you're not paying attention. So could have been what happened there. Update Dylan was still an extra lap down, so it's still going to be one down here on this restart. Coming to get the one to go here. We're going to have a 5-lap shootout to end this thing. And the 59 has captured the lead and has been able to keep it. So we'll see if he can do that for 5 more laps. The 74, though, been one of the fastest cars out here tonight, so I'm legged out early. This is probably going to be a pretty fierce battle as they come around here to take the green with 5 to go. But you have Dalton McKinney there, and second row outside, freshest tires. He's not out of this thing yet. A lot can happen here in 5 laps. And we're back underway here at South Boston. Everything gets pretty quickly sorted out single file. Except for back here between the 17 and 37. Go back up front because this is where the battles are going to be. 4 to go. Ooh, the 74 sends it in deep. Doesn't get in the back of the 59, but comes close. The 59 is going to be mirror driving for all he's worth for the next few laps. This is essentially a $10 pass between first and second for the prize money tonight with 2 to go. A little higher entry there by the 74. He's going to get a good run off. There he goes, down to the inside. Ooh, gets the door shut. Luckily, the 46 stayed off. White flag, 1 more to go. Front 4 under a blanket. Gets the bumper there. Oh, gets the bumper again. Stays straight. And he might just come home with this thing. Greg Carty off turn 4, does a fantastic job, leads the last 30 laps of the race and wins at South Boston. James Kerr hits the wall real hard there right after the checkered.
Good win, Greg.
He'll come home in 4th. Corcoran comes home 2nd. We'll look at the full finishing results here in a second, but wow, what a finish. Phew. Another fantastic ending to a race here. Speed Racing Network. We'll see you in a second here in EPI Victory Lane. Joining us now in the Speed Racing Network EPI Victory Lane, Drake Carty, you were the winner here tonight at South Boston. Pretty exciting finish. What was your goal? You knew you had to restart, just a few laps to go. You knew the 75 was fast, or 74 rather was fast. What was your game plan there at the end?
Yeah, I was counting down the laps as we were under yellow, and I knew this restart was crucial because he was fast. So I had to try to time it right, get the jump, and then carry the bottom, so he didn't get under me for the rest. But yeah, it was a good race. A lot of fast drivers, but yeah.
Yeah, it had a little bit of everything. I mean, it's been kind of the prototypical race we've had in all the races in the KSP Performance Series. Something brand new to Speed Racing Network this year, so we kind of didn't know what to expect. But we've had all these fantastic finishes, interesting strategies, things like this. This was kind of reminiscent of the first race where we had a little bit more caution flags to deal with. Kind of changes the game a little bit. Um, but you were able to lead the last 29 laps. We had 4 out of the 7 drivers here this evening that led 10 laps or more. So everybody kind of got a chance up there. But it did look like when you got the lead, when the 74 got the lead, that having nobody in front of you is a preferred option on a track like this. Talk a little bit about when you were able to get that track position, how important that was. Because, earlier in the race we saw you kind of mired back there 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, once I was struggling with the tires before that first yellow. So once that yellow came out, I used that as my opportunity to get new tires. And then once I got those on, the car felt a lot better. And then that good restart put me up towards the front. And then, yeah, once I got the lead, it was a lot better to use the tires. And I saw that the guy behind me was a little bit slower. I think he stayed out. So I used that as my time to try to jump out in front so I could get a pretty good lead and manage tires later on.
Well, it worked out for you, so congratulations. You now won a Speed Racing Network event, so you can add that to your resume, which is a pretty good thing to add. It's hard to win around here. Before we let you go to this tonight, I think obviously you have some people to thank, some people that were on the race car, so we'll let you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you, DG Motorsports, iRacing, and all my supporters. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, good job tonight. We look forward to seeing you again pretty soon.
All right, thank you.
That was Drake Carty, the 59 machine, the winner here tonight from DG Motorsports, who led the last 29 laps of this event. So we've heard from him. Well, we got to get our second place guy, who we'll see what he has to say. It's never fun finishing second. You heard it last night in Matthew Greathouse's interview, but we'll get to talk with him here and see what he has to say. Second place tonight, Sean Corcoran in the number 74 machine. Sean, what more did you need there to get the 59? I know he was kind of driving for all it was worth there and using as much racetrack as he could, but you kind of have to expect that in that situation.
Yeah, I just didn't want to wreck him. We were having fun. I tried to put it up high and get it to stick, but I had Dalton underneath me who would have taken that spot if I didn't kind of defend at the same time. I was off to a good start before there was a spinner there that brought out the caution. And then I got tires. I probably didn't need them or shouldn't have. But it was a lot of fun. The car was fast for sure.
Yeah, and so we noticed, and this I guess this just kind of plays into your driving style. When the run does get longer, you tend to do a good job of managing those tires and just running good consistent laps. And so, it took you 25 laps to get around the 75, but then once you did, I mean, the lead grew to about 6.5 seconds before that caution came out. When you saw that caution, what was the first thought that went you through your head? Were you like, dang it, now that lead's gone? And what played into your decision on to come down and get tires there?
Yeah, when that caution came out, I'm like, oh, I'm probably going to lose this race. No, but I thought that maybe the tires would help a little. I didn't really feel like they did much of anything because I had saved them. Like I said, I was backing the corner up a lot more than a lot of the other guys. So my right rear still felt pretty good, throughout that whole run. So I probably made a mistake by coming down, and then I got that little bit of damage, and I just came down and got it fixed up quick. So yeah, it's kind of how that played out.
Well, it was a good event tonight. It was very entertaining to watch from up here. Probably one of the best we've had this season. It just continues the string of really good racing here on Speed Racing Network. So before we let you go tonight, your team sponsors, who would you like to thank for your performance this evening?
Yeah, well, thank you to SRN and you up in there, up in the booth for putting this on. It's a lot of fun. Then I have to thank DG Motorsports and Spencer Brown Inc., Matt Hartzell's True Nature Taxidermy, and I believe iBox Springs. I think that's it. So I don't get in trouble.
Got your way up and down the list.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
All right, well, good deal. Congrats on your second place finish, and we look forward to seeing you pretty soon.
All right, sounds good.
Yep.
Thanks.
Sean Corcoran, second place here tonight in the number 74 DG Motorsports machine. One of the fastest drivers we've seen this year, and is probably due to get a win very, 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 very soon. So, we have one more gentleman waiting for us to conclude our podium of finishers, and that'd be the number 46 of Dalton McKinney. Dalton McKinney now joining us in the booth, third place here tonight. Dalton, this race had a little bit of everything. You stayed out when that caution came out. What more did you need at the end, and what went into your decision there to stay out when that yellow came out?
Yeah, everyone pitted, and I saw that we were still about only 10th or 2/10 off of our lap times out of the gate. So I figured I could get a good jump and get out there and just lead some laps and buy some time. And if we did get a caution, come down and get some tires. And by then I would have known kind of how important the tires were and how and the by the end of it, I think having the fresher tires helped me a little bit there at the end. I felt like I had a little better grip and I had a little more control in my car, but track position definitely ended up being key.
Yeah, and tonight's race, we saw a little bit of everything. We saw a longer green flag run, then we saw some really, really tight, kind of chaotic racing. Obviously, you went around for a spin there. After that, we didn't look because we were viewing replays of the incident. Did you come down and take tires then? Once you got in that incident, then what became your plan for the rest of the event?
Yeah, that's I think it was 10 or 15 laps after the first caution, which came around halfway whenever most of them came down and got tires. So around lap 65 is whenever I got spun. I did come down and take my tires then. That was another thing. I felt like there's only 35 laps left at that point. I would have liked to have, maybe get 10 more laps on it or so, but even then, it'd be hard to come to the field in 25 laps. So I was just kind of in a bad spot after the spin and was just trying to do something to, make some points. James and I are in a very tight points battle. I'm curious to see how it shakes out after tonight. I say we're going to be tied, or he may have a couple points on me. I know he had the pole, and I'm glad I was able to lead some laps. I don't know exactly all the bonuses, but I checked a couple of the, possible ones, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it will end up being tied going into the last race, and it's 100% going to come down between you two. We probably already have that answer with the way the point system works. So we'll definitely look forward to that next week with our version of the Snowball Derby with the super lates at Five Flags, and that should be an awesome event. Can't wait for that. But before we let you go tonight, we're going to roll out the red carpet to you. Who do you have to thank for your effort this evening?
My girlfriend, she has Birdie's Blooms, McDingers. That's what's on this car. I get the cars mixed up with a bunch of different ones. Johnny Williams painted this one. It's actually references my real life dirt modified, so I always enjoy racing it. Everyone at SRN, you for putting the broadcast on, you for everything you do for all of us, and everyone that tuned in and watched, all the other drivers. I think it's really cool that we're 5 races in. We have 5 different winners. Hopefully we can change that next week and I can get my second and get the championship. But yeah, just thanks to everyone.
Well, we look forward to it, seeing how that championship battle shakes out next week.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Absolutely. Dalton McKinney, third place finisher here this evening. So, that'll do it here at South Boston Speedway. 100 laps of awesome racing action this evening. We saw a little bit of everything. We had cars going around. We had a long green flag run. We had pit strategy. We had a little bit of it all. So we hope you enjoyed tonight's event. We look forward to seeing you next week in the season finale, where we will take the super late models to Five Flag Speedway, so our Speed Racing Network version of the Snowball Derby. The championship battle between Dalton McKinney and James Kerr will be tight, and we look forward to crowning a champion at that point. Again, if you missed it last night on the Speed Racing Network YouTube channel, go watch the Glitch Truck Series Championship race at Nashville. Awesome event. One of the best I've seen. And we look forward to kind of hinting at what's going to happen with the future of that series pretty soon. Other than that, we have just a few more things to bring your way. One is the charity event that we've referenced the past couple weeks that we're doing on June 29th, as you see on your screen. It's going to be the Craftsman Trucks at Homestead, Miami. It's an open setup race. Top 3 will earn prizes. It's 100 laps. It starts at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a memorial race. It is a charity event. We are donating ourselves in the broadcast and some prizes to that. There'll also be other prizes being given away. 2 random draws. Don't know what the prizes are yet. I'll have to talk to the people in charge on that and see. But we love participating in these charity events and helping out where we can. And so I look forward to that event a little later this month. You can still join this series if you'd like. Next week at Five Flags, where we take the super late models for 120 laps. If you're interested in joining us for that race, it's a $10 entry. Just contact us here at Speed Racing Network via any of our social media platforms or speedracingnetwork.com. Just to reiterate one more time on what the schedule of events looks like around here, we have next week's KSP season finale, and then we take a summer break with everybody else. Registration for Speed Racing Network Season 7 will open on August 1st. We will have information about what that is, what series are being offered here pretty soon. If you're not part of the Speed Racing Network general Discord server, I would highly recommend joining that. That's where you're going to find all your information about the series that are currently being offered, sponsorship opportunities, and other great things, including if you'd like Speed Racing Network to broadcast a charity event or a one-off race that you have going on. Feel free to contact us through there. The Discord link is on the homepage of speedracingnetwork.com. So head there, click that link, join. You'll be able to find everything you might need, and hopefully we can be part of your iRacing journey going forward. So on behalf of myself, the president of Speed Racing Network, Jonathan Byer, all of our partners, including Admin Box, Glitch, KSP Performance, pretty much all of them. There's a long list. We'll highlight most of them next week. Good night, and we'll see you at Five Flags in Florida next week.